Welcome everyone, this is Shanti Kumaraswamy Street from English with a Twist, also known as EWAT, and welcome. This is lesson 60 of Wednesdays with EWAT. How is everyone doing? I hope you can see me and you're here live in London on a beautiful sunny afternoon here on the 21st of March. So as you're coming into this lesson, as you're getting the notifications from Facebook, do let me know where you're from. If you're my regulars, give me a high five, say hi. And we are going to be starting the lesson soon. So do tell me where you're from. So hopefully you're not too worried about Facebook. You haven't all started closing your accounts down, that we're still going to be Facebookers. So lesson 60, can you believe it? Wow, so that's another milestone in the series. That's Wednesdays with EWAT. Okay, what are we all about here? We are all about sharing and looking at how we can become more confident and feel more in control when you are communicating in English with business. And that's incredibly important for all of us. Because at the end of the day, if English is not your first language and you want to feel in control when communicating in English with work, then this is the place to be. Because this is where I help you, share with you the ways that you can do that slowly and surely. I can see some regulars here. So Keiko is in. Hi Keiko, lovely to see you. Vasiliki is watching. Bang from Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, it's late, isn't it, Bang? What time is it? Hi, Vasiliki. I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, it's spring. Spring is finally here. I hope. Fingers crossed. Path, hi. So this past Shanti, sunny but chilly day in the southwest of Spain. Okay, how chilly is it? Because I know some of my fellow teachers who are in Spain, also north of Spain, there's been quite a bit of snow. Well, we had snow at the weekend, and it was a shock to the system, I can tell you. On Friday we had a beautiful sunny day and it was glorious sunshine, and then on Saturday snow started falling, and we had the last 3 days, well, until Monday, where it was just really slippery, icy, super cold. Bang, it's 11:05 p.m. so thank you so much. This is your nighttime cap, midnight cap before you go to bed. Gabi, hi, hello Argentina. I'm so glad, Vasiliki, like my tulips at the back. And ciao Maria, lovely to see you. So Pathia is saying it's 10 degrees centigrade in one of the hottest areas of Spain. So what, down in Andalusia? Is that where you're in? Is that southwest? Oh, I'm getting, I better get my geography right here. Right, so I'm so glad my regulars are in, and it's so good to see you all. Well, I'm visualizing. Some of you I know what you look like, and others I don't. But so it's lovely to see you. So what are we going to be talking here? Now, I have to say that today, lesson 60, another milestone in Wednesdays with EWAT, and also it's going to be the last lesson for March, because next week there won't be a lesson. I don't think so, and I was thinking about this because unfortunately I have to attend a funeral, and so I thought, well, just in case I can't make it in time, I think it's best if I not have the lesson. So this is my lesson before we end the month of March, before we enter the Easter break, and also closing the theme of words and vocabulary and discovering words, business words and vocabulary through the news. So I thought, because this is the last session in the month, I'm stopping here. So Path is saying Badajoz, Extremadura, next to Andalusia, on the very border with Portugal. Good to know. Thank you, Path. I will now check I've got this atlas at the back. I should every now and again just double check it and look at the world atlas and the world and see where everybody is, and so that I have a better idea. But thank you for sharing. So, reminding everyone, this month has been the theme on new words, discovering new vocabulary. We've looked at how you can learn and explore new vocabulary through business headlines, understanding business headlines better, looking at, and last week's blog post, if you're subscribers to my post, you'll have seen how to use a business article to explore new vocabulary. So if you haven't seen that, then I'd recommend you join the EWAT community at englishwithatwist.com, and you can then get my regular articles every Friday. So today what I'm going to look at, I thought, well, to finish the month on a high note before we all go off and, you know, enjoy Palm Sunday on Sunday and then Easter, I thought I would look at some new words that have been introduced by the media in the last few months. Now, some of these words, you know, can stay in the vocabulary. In fact, they become permanent parts of our vocabulary of the English language. You know, just think, we have selfie, we have photobomb, we have post-truth, we have gig economy. You know, some words that are coined by the business press or the news in general. And then some others that, you know, they come, they make us laugh, they amuse us, and then they disappear into, you know, wherever they go. Because, you know, they're so ridiculous. So what I did was, I thought, well, let me research some more. I would just like to have a look, because there was a post I wrote about a couple of years ago that many people really enjoyed looking at. Now, for where I found them was Weffy selfie. Okay, Beng, you're going to have to tell me what Weffy is. What does that stand for? Is that a combination of what words? Okay, so I was looking through, and one of the resources I like to look at to explore new words is the Cambridge Dictionaries blog. And they have a special section called New Words, About Words. And then you get to see the different new words that come, and they tell you where they saw these. And then they often ask the readers whether they think that they should be part of, you know, the dictionary, part of the word, the wealth of language that we have, what we call lexis, or the corpus, where we have all the body of words in the English language. So today what I wanted to do is, what I'd like to do with you, and if that's okay with you, well, actually I don't think you have a choice, do you? Is to share 10 of these words that I was looking through, and I thought, oh, that's quite good. And I wondered, what I plan to do is to share with you these expressions, and then think, and I'd like to ask you whether you think they have a place in the English language, whether you can imagine using them. Now, I've chosen these words where we would use them also in the context of the language in business. Okay, so, you know, always very much looking at the business side, and whether you could see that as something that could become a permanent part of the English language. Okay, so are you ready? I'm just going to refresh the Facebook page so that I can see more clearly the comments you're saying. So Beng, you're saying weefy instead of selfie, taking yourself, you're going to take it in a group. Okay, is this a word you've seen, or is this just a word you invented yourself, Beng, just at the moment, just before you go to bed? Hello, Hala, nice to meet you. Are you new to English with a Twist? Please let us know where you're from. I'd love to know. Oh, before I start, I just wanted to mention one very quick thing with everyone. I will be letting you all know more in the next couple of weeks. I am going to be creating a new Facebook group. So very different from the page. It'll be a group. It's going to be a closed group, which is going to be the EWAT Club. And that is where I'm going to be inviting you, and I'm going to be moving the Wednesdays with EWAT live lessons into this group, because this is going to be a group of like-minded community members where we can then explore the language and have more meaningful conversations. So please, I will be sharing with you the group when I launch the group, and inviting you to join this select group of, well, it's not select, it's a special group of business professionals who want to look into, you know, want to continue and have a meaningful discussion, sharing ideas, sharing their concerns and their fears. And a group creates a far better community of conversation. And that's where I'm going to be taking the Wednesdays with EWAT live lessons into that group. And whereas on the page you'll still have access to Wednesdays with EWAT, but it will be the recorded sessions. Oh, Vasily, I'm glad you like that. And so I'm hoping you will join me there, because you are such a wonderful community, every one of you coming in and joining my classes. But I'd like to continue that conversation and develop that conversation far more meaningfully through the group. So it will be known as the EWAT Club, and I will be giving you more information in the next week or so and inviting you to join. And it's not just going to be for business professionals. I would like to encourage also my fellow teachers. I see Nada saying I'm a teacher, but I'd love to keep in touch with the latest vocabulary. So it's not just for business professionals, but it's also for teachers who are teaching clients. Their clients are also business professionals, and they want to develop it, to develop their vocabulary, and also to develop ideas and topics and discussions. And also maybe those teachers will have pieces of advice and tips for the fellow business professionals. Don't forget that with that group, the level you'll need is at least an intermediate level. So you'll have to be at least B1, so a very strong intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced. It's really to allow my business professionals and my fellow teachers to have a place to have more conversation, more discussion, share ideas. And that's where also I want to be able to carry out polls, ask you questions that will then build a stronger community within EWAT. So keep in mind that's what I will be doing. So great. Yes, I can see a number of teachers that follow me on Wednesdays with EWAT. So I'd love it for you to collaborate with me on this group with like-minded business professionals. Always in mind with the idea of business. I want my business professionals who communicate in English to feel in control, because this is what happens when you can lose control and you're just worried about how you're going to communicate. And that's what we're going to be building. So great news. I'm already seeing some fantastic response. I can't wait to share that with you. So keep your eyes peeled. This will be after Easter when I'll be making that announcement and inviting you over. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at these 10 words that I have selected for you. Well, I've been looking and I thought, wow, looks cool. Right, first off, let's look at the first one that I saw. I'm going to write it out in the chat box, and I'm seeing some very nice emojis coming along in there. So I'm really glad you're keen on this idea of the EWAT Club. I can't wait to get that one started. Looking forward to that. Right, and also because you'll get sneak previews of my programs and lots of stuff that I will be sharing, and I can't wait for that. Fantastic. Okay, sweat working. So sweat working, I saw this the other day, and now this first came up apparently in one of the newspapers. Let me tell you exactly, because I've got here my notes, and it was in Men's Health. Okay, so sweat. Imagine you know, when you go running or you do a workout, you start sweating. And there's then putting the words working. And this is what I found. What is the definition? Any activity that combines exercise with networking, such as going to the gym with business clients. So I reread this definition. Any activity that combines exercise with networking, such as going to the gym with business clients. So and this is what I read, according to the CEO of a non-profit fitness lobby in the UK, he said it's an efficient way to get some exercise while developing a greater rapport with clients and colleagues. Imagine. Now, we've heard all about networking, right? Business networking. We play golf, corporate entertainment, invite your clients for business lunches. Yeah, you're hitting two birds with with one stone. Yes, yes, exactly. And I thought to myself, okay, so we have networking, we have business lunches, we have corporate entertainment. You're taking it out, but I thought, sweating with my clients. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ask my husband, he always tells me, every time I go out for a run, you should see me come back. I am pouring in sweat. Even my mother, when I go running and I'm in Milan, she's like, oh my goodness. You know, it could be sub-zero temperatures out there, and I will come back absolutely pouring in sweat. Now, I don't know. The thought of exercising while having to talk about, you know, propositions or, you know, discussing key, you know, negotiations or a key project or networking with my clients, I am not too sure whether I'd like that. Oh, Nada, you're saying while sweat working, we were discussing the presentation for the conference. Exactly. I'm not sure. I don't know about you, but you know, when I want to go work out, my idea of a workout is I like to be on my own. And, you know, that's my relaxing time, de-stressing, having moments when I can think about other things. The sheer thought of sweating with my clients or my potential clients, I don't think I'll be doing that. It actually sounds revolting to me. What about you? Can you see yourself sweat working? So sweat and networking with your business clients? What do you think? Do you think it's an activity or a something that you would do? I'd love to know. Hi, Jen. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, Nada, you agree, right? No, I don't think so. So I think this is a fad. A fad, of course, is it's like a little fashion. It's a very short term. It's not going to last. And I don't think anyone wants to do that. I mean, it's just like horrible. No, I'm not going to be doing that. So that's out of the question. We're not going to be bothering with sweat working. Good to know, ladies and gentlemen. The next word I found, and I thought, okay, let's check this out, because it's not completely, yeah, it's a trend. Fad is a trend. Exactly, Bang. Thank you. Another word is, which, you know, we have this already in our world, is Robo Advisor. Now, we've all heard of RoboCop. Yep. You probably have seen the film. Some of you maybe are a bit too young. But here's another one, Robo Advisor. Now, robo comes from robot, and advisor, as the word suggests, you have someone who's advising you. Now, the definition, according to the Cambridge Dictionaries blog, is a computer system that uses algorithms and other software to provide financial advice. Let me repeat. A computer system that uses algorithms and other software to provide financial advice. So you're combining robot with advisor. Now, this appeared in the Sunday Times here in the UK. So you're looking for financial advice, and instead of speaking to a real person, what you're going to do is answer online questions about your financial goals and your attitude to risk, investment risk, that is. And the robo-advisor then suggests suitable portfolios that it will manage for you. So it suggests the portfolios and then it manages the portfolios for you. I don't know exactly. Gosh, it involves artificial intelligence, doesn't it? So robo-advisor. Now, could we see something like that happening? We already have it, for example, in the financial world, where we do add information online. We put our data online in terms of our financial data. And for example, I don't know about yourselves, but if you're looking for insurance, maybe it's like travel insurance, whatever, you can first of all just put in some data, ask what you're looking for, and then the system, the software will work something out and give you maybe a premium or something. But robo-advisor, well, Nada, can we have some example sentences? Gosh, I don't know, because I mean, we're not really looking at examples. I'm just sort of thinking what, perhaps, you went to see, you went to see your robo-advisor. Well, you didn't go and see your robo-advisor. For example, I arranged, I inputted, but this is it. The robo-advisor is not a real person. So what would you do? He said, okay, you'll never hear, I'm so pleased with my robo-advisor. The other day I've appointed a new robo-advisor, and they are advising, they've put together a fantastic financial portfolio for me. And, in the last 6 months, I've had a fantastic return on my investment because this robo-advisor is just wonderful. What I do is I input all my information, give them my goals and my attitude to risk. He calculates, or he or she calculates my information, suggests based on algorithms again on what portfolios would be suitable for me. And if I agree, I tick the box, and then it starts managing the portfolio for me. So it is using software. You don't have a real person there that's going to advise. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think robo-advisor, could that become a part of our world? Would you get financial advice from a robot, from software? I'm not too sure. I don't know about that. This is like a interesting thing. I think at the end of the day, I still want to talk to a real person. You're losing the human touch, Bang, absolutely. Because, here's the thing. Now, I used to be in the financial world. I used to be a financial advisor. My husband's a financial advisor. And I think, yes, there's certain jobs that we can do where software can do it, where, software algorithms can work some things out. But what if, for example, you changed your attitude to risk, or there was a change in your circumstances? Then what would happen? And then you think, well, you'd need to talk to someone unless you go and start making the changes on your system, on the software. And so that, so there's always limitations, and it sounds great. Gabi, you're saying you read about this. Apparently the idea began in Japanese companies to give quick assistance to their clients. Yeah, and I can see that. And that, you can see that, right? That can happen because it would be the first step. And, so the first step is always good. If you can automate your system, your initial system as much as possible, that then helps then to offer added value through the human person. For example, like with my coaching programs now, I've introduced an automated system. So I am in the process of doing that, so that if you came in, you applied, you complete application form, and then I look at it, and then I come back to you, and then you have access to my online calendar. You book in my coaching program. I send you the invoice, and everything is then automated. That helps me. But at the end of the day, you still need that human person at the end. So yes, interesting. Maybe the robo-advisor could start the first process, and then we finish it as human beings. But here we go. So that's robo-advisor. Very interesting. And I thought, yeah, maybe. Could this be part of the English language? Do you think this could have a part? We've had RoboCop, but we don't use RoboCop in everyday language. It's just a film. But there we go. So that's one, robo-advisor. Thank you very much for your contributions here. So as we say, so I think it could help in the first stages, and then we still need the real thing. Gabi is saying it's a bit creepy. Yeah, because I think maybe we watch a lot of science fiction movies, we have this feeling, right? If you've seen AI, or if you've seen those movies, or what was that other movie with I, Robot? That's it, I, Robot with Will Smith. And they take on these human forms, right, these robots. I mean, that's a bit creepy. So if they start talking to you, and you think, oh my goodness, no, I still need a real person, flesh and blood, so I can speak to them. That's just my opinion. Nothing like the human touch, as Bang says. All right, the number three, let me put this down in the chat box. Price gouging. Now, this is really interesting, because when I saw this, let me put this in the chat box so you can see it. Price gouging. Now, price we know. Gouging, I looked at it. Now, this is what the definition is that came, and it appeared in Time magazine in America. The definition is the act of increasing the price of goods or services beyond what is considered fair, normally during a state of emergency. I'll repeat. The act of increasing the price of goods or services beyond what is considered fair, normally during a state of emergency. Here's the context. If you remember the different hurricanes that have affected the Caribbean islands, here we have, as Hurricane Irma hits the northeast Caribbean, Florida residents are already seeing price gouging for items like water, food, and gas as they prepare for the storm that is on track to reach parts of the state by the weekend. Florida State Attorney General Pam Bondi opened a price gouging hotline for residents to report these instances, and a high volume of complaints have already rolled in since it opened on Monday. So this appeared in the Time magazine. Bengjin, you're saying profiteering. Absolutely. Price gouging. You're profiteering. You're profiteering from people's misery, from people's panic, from that state of emergency. What I was intrigued by the choice of the word gouge in this sentence. Of course, yes, it is a negative context because you are increasing the price of goods and services beyond what is considered fair. Now, no, it's not looting, Maria, because looting is where you've got the shops are there and people are going into those shops and grabbing all the supplies. So looting is almost like, well, similar to stealing. But here, this is actually the shops increasing their prices. So they think, right, okay, so water is going to be in great demand because it will soon be in short supply. Food and, different, and gas. So gas meaning oil, fuel, petrol. So what they do is that the petrol prices suddenly go up, and water, to buy water, suddenly they increase the price by maybe 4 times, 5 times, 10 times. And so they raise the price knowing that people need it. So, and Bengjing is right. It's profiteering, trying to make a profit on people's vulnerability. So it's not looting. And so but I was intrigued by the choice of word here. You know me, I'm always looking at words. Why price gouging? Now, the word gouge in English means to make a hole into something. You make a hole when you gouge. So I made a gouge into the wall. Say you're hammering something. Say, imagine you're hammering a picture and suddenly you hammer it too hard and you gouge a piece of the wall and you make a hole in the wall. And you think, oh my God, oh gosh, I made a hole. So I thought, but why did they use the word gouge in this situation? So I thought to myself, imagine you, and this is what I thought. So I'm thinking prices normally have a minimum and a maximum. We hope, right? So imagine you've got a minimum and a maximum. And I thought, now imagine these limits as barriers, right? So they are barriers. Now, if I make a hole, if I gouge a hole in that maximum barrier, I'm sort of allowing the price to go through that barrier uncontrollably. So, because I was trying to think, you got that, you got immediately the idea, take advantage of emergency situation. But I thought, why did you use the word price gouging? Because gouging means making a hole. So how am I making a hole in the price? So I thought, okay, so that maximum price, now what you're doing is you have this barrier, it's not going to go anymore, but you make a hole in it so that the price can go through and keep going and going and going uncontrollably. So this price just keeps going up. So that's my idea. yeah, you know, sort of, prices going through the roof. You don't put the prices through the roof, the prices go naturally through the roof. So it's not an act, the prices do it themselves, but because of course we have applied that, we've done it. Making a hole without a W path, HOLE. Yeah, so, oh yeah, true, that could work, making a hole in other people's financial situation. Yes, you know, they only have so much money and you've gone and made a hole in it, so it's even worse. So yeah, that's another image you could have. So that's what I thought, so price gouging, that sounds good. And it sounds also pretty violent. You know, when you gouge. Now, there's an expression also when you gouge something out. So this came from Shakespeare's play King Lear. When King Lear's eyes are gouged out, they're removed from their sockets. So, you know, there's that violence of grab something, extract it. So, yeah, no, so price gouging, it's like, really, wow, you're really taking advantage of people's vulnerability, that feeling of emergency, their fears, and that's pretty horrible. Yeah, so I just thought I like I'm always fascinated by why certain words are put together. And in business, of course, they use a lot of this. When we look at expressions, they're using this metaphorically to create a visual. And you have this visual, you can imagine, and then you can just imagine what they mean. And that's how these words then either become part of our everyday language or then it just disappears. So that's what it is. So price gouging. That sounds good. I think we could keep that in the dictionary. What do you think? Although it sounds terrible. I mean, you know, horrible. Exactly, Rafa. Gouging of prices is not fair value. It is, exactly. So the definition is you're increasing the price of the goods or services beyond what is considered fair. Yeah, so there you go. Number 4, next word I liked. No, 2 words. Word combination, word pair. Reverse-vending. This is another one. It's just come in actually recently, saw that. Reverse-vending. Now, this is the definition. The activity of putting empty plastic bottles into a machine so that they can be recycled and getting a small amount of money back for each one. Let me repeat the definition. The activity of putting empty plastic bottles into a machine so that they can be recycled and getting a small amount of money back for each one. This comes from an article, you know, at the moment, I don't know about in your country, where you're from, but the whole topic on how to recycle the environmental impact of plastic has been very much a hot topic in news. You know, here we are discussing how we're going to recycle plastic bottles in particular. And so many countries in the UK, for example, looking at different initiatives that we can introduce to encourage people to recycle their plastic bottles. Many people recycle. We have the recycling banks, but there's been view that that's just too much. How can we do that? How can we encourage more? So they brought in this idea of how to use to do reverse vending. Now, how did this words come about? Now, vending. Let's take a look at vending. Now, vending, the synonym, another word for vending is selling, to sell. Now, in the English language, we often use vending with a vending machine. Yeah, I imagine you've got those machines that you will see in train stations, in hospitals, at your university, at a college. You know, the vending machine that can sell you soft drinks and snacks, you know, your chocolate or whatever you want, right? You put the pennies in and you press your button and you get your drink or your snack. So they are known as vending machine. Reverse means opposite, right? So you do the opposite. So, you know, this is the reverse of my hand. So this is one hand, the reverse is the other side, or it could be the reverse, the opposite side. Yeah, so you have the book and then you've got the reverse, the opposite. So here is what they're talking about. Here they're looking at one radical scheme they're thinking about is reverse vending. What do they mean? It's where the empty plastic bottles are fed, so put in, to a network of machines in shops and supermarkets. The system has operated for decades in Scandinavian countries. So what you do is they put in you put in your plastic bottle into this machine. So you feed it into the machine, and so instead of coming the drink coming out, you're putting this bottle in, and in return you will receive some money for every plastic bottle that you feed into this machine. So it is a reverse action. You're not getting something out, you're putting it in. So that's the reverse. And you're using a vending machine. So it's reverse vending. So that's where the expression comes from. Path, you've just said, just a while ago, I read an article on the BBC about recycling plastic that said, come on, start small. Stop using, okay, I can't see all of that. Start small, stop using drinking straws. Yeah, that's cool. That's great, because of course straws, plastic, and then what happens? We throw it away and they just do not biodegrade into the environment. Yes, and the BBC has been very much, as I say, it's been a topic here that we've been talking about. Absolutely, very good. I like that. I like that idea that you've just shared there. Great stuff. Yes. Come on, start small, stop using drinking straws. Definitely, we can start that way. But then, then it's looking at how do you develop that more. So this is the reverse vending. So that's a new word. What do you think? Do you think it's an expression that could stay in the English language, or this is a fad? It might not last, I don't think. I don't know. It just doesn't sound so fluid. I don't know, reverse vending. Yes, we must try some reverse vending. Yeah, and this is the problem, right, with these new expressions, and they come in and you all start thinking, what does that exactly mean? But so that's where it appeared. So where did this appear? It first appeared in the BBC. Yeah, actually, Path, it also appeared in the BBC News. Beng Jin, you're saying, okay, I thought putting in an empty cup and we get in return a cup full of drinks. Yeah, no, you don't. No. The whole idea is to be environmentally friendly. Reverse vending, Vasiliki, you think it's going to last? Okay, maybe, let's see. Let's watch this space, as we would say. It could be something, particularly we're going to take recycling of plastic more seriously than we do. Yeah, no, you're handing in the it sounds like a good idea, Nada. You think so? Okay, so hopefully maybe. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Okay, next one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the next one. Is slow gifting. Okay, this appeared more last year around about Christmas time. So the expression is slow. I think it's slow gifting. I think it's with a hyphen. So slow gifting. And here's the definition. And this appeared in the Times in the UK. The activity of shopping carefully and thoughtfully for gifts and buying high quality, often handmade items from small shops or individual sellers. So it's interesting because here they use slow gifting. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give gifting. You're giving a gift. You're giving a present to family and friends. Christmas, birthdays, whatever you're going to do. But this slow, So the activity of shopping carefully and thoughtfully. So you're taking the time. So it's slow. You're not going to rush to the first shop, grab the first item from the shop and run out, like what most men do on Christmas Eve when they're all panicking because they haven't done any of their Christmas shopping for their wives and girlfriends, right? So here it's slow. And what you're doing is you're taking your time and you're looking for quality rather than quantity. So here's the article. Slow gifting has been considered as one of this year's top Christmas trends. Personal shoppers are reporting a rise in popularity of gifts from small independent brands. They claim their clients are increasingly looking for products that tell a story and they are willing to spend big. So they want to tell a story with this present. So it's something thoughtful. They're not just buying a present just for the sake of it. They want to give the present that has meaning, that tells you a story. And they're willing to spend a lot on it because they've taken their time. Maria, I think you're right. Maria is asking, does it come from slow food? Yes, this idea that, the reaction to this fast food, trend that we all are too much in a rush. We have no time to cook. We have no time to do things. Why don't we all slow down and start thinking about the meaning of the gift we want to make to someone? Not just going, oh, I need to get them a present. Let me just grab anything. Let me just do this. The essence of the product, exactly, Pat, the international movement of slow food movement that started in Italy. And it's to, appreciate what you have, appreciate slow cooking, taking your time in preparing food, taking your time in appreciating what you have. And I think it's the same now with gifting. So take your time to buy that present. I like being a slow gifting person. Yeah, okay, that could be. We could use that as a adjective, couldn't we? Are you a slow gifting person or a fast gifting person? Make a decision. Yeah, we could use that as an adjective. I think here we're using it as a noun. So slow gifting is something that people like to do. Yes, I'm a slow gifting person. Yeah, what do you think? I think that's probably people have, we've all done it. Slow food versus fast food. So maybe slow gifts versus fast gifts. Although I've never really heard of fast gifts, but there you go. It's that, shopping without thinking. So, hey, who knows? Do you think that will be a trend? Enjoying and buying with pleasure. Exactly. But even taking the time to think, why have I bought, why am I buying that? Appreciating the quality. Now, here we are. They're talking about independent brands, handmade. We've always gone for the mass produced. So now we want to go into something that is, you're going to be spending more because, of course, independent brands, small brands, it's not mass production, so it's going to cost more. But the whole idea is to go for quality and not quantity. For example, you don't need 10 pairs of trousers. You can do with 2 pairs of trousers, spend a bit more on that, and it will last you longer. 2 handbags rather than, 5 handbags, all with different colors. That's the whole idea. While the retailers want us all to be buying, we're thinking, no, come on, slow down. Let's appreciate. Let's put some thought into what we're doing. Hey, so some of you might be slow gifters. Slow gifters, it could become a word, couldn't it? I'm a slow gifter. Like Vasiliki said, slow gifting person. Custom made, so handmade, handcrafts. Exactly. And sometimes when we look at it, we think, oh, the price, but you think, well, what's the story behind it? So some people, there's a story behind something as to how it was made, why it was made. If you're a brand, when we talk about in business brand, the brands that are successful have a story behind them. So there's a brand story. What got a person started? We talk a lot about that. And A brand will either resonate with you, you identify with that brand because it tells you a story. And it's the same with a gift. If you want to be able to, tell a story and what that gift means. Wow, all of you are really busy on that chat. Let me just see. A totally different concept from the Robo Advisor's idea. Exactly, Path, you're right. And sentimental values is giving that sentimentality. Could we say slow receiver too, Vasiliki? Meaning that the gift receiver will appreciate our slow. Yeah. So someone who's receiving it will appreciate it, will take their time to appreciate the present and, enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, might be a bit difficult with children, right? When you give them a present, they open it up. Yeah, well, whatever. What's the next one? But maybe in this world where we all have a bit too much, this would be good. Yeah, sounds good. I'm enjoying your comments. Thank you, guys. Yes, a gift with a message. Exactly, Nada. Right. So, hey, we could have slow gifters. Maybe we could start a trend of slow gifting. What would be your slow gift to your best friend or to your parent or a sibling or, to your loved one? What would it be? In fact, my husband's birthday is next week. Maybe I should think of a slow gift for him. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just take my time to give him the gift. Maybe I won't do it this year and I'll end up doing it next year because I'm so slow looking for this gift. I don't know. Maybe. No. I will go find a present for him. Who knows? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go for the next word. So we are number 6. Okay, number 6 I saw, and I think this is fairly straightforward. It's screen fatigue. Right, who suffers from screen fatigue? Anyone can tell me? Who suffers from screen fatigue? Me. I suffer from screen fatigue. Yeah? So where this came from, it's come from the situation where people feel they spend too much time reading text on an e-reader, tablet, and so on. So this appeared in the Guardian, and it says Britons, people from Britain, are abandoning the e-book at an alarming rate. Alarming means worrying rate, with sales of consumer titles down almost a fifth last year, as screen fatigue helped fuel a 5-year high in printed book sales. Right, I don't know about you, a few years ago when the Kindle came out, the e-reader, big thing, and everyone started saying, this is going to be great, this is going to be the end of the printed word, books are no longer going to exist in a few years' time, blah, 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 that's the end of the world. And of course, in the last few years, what we've seen is actually the sale of books has actually risen more than e-readers, particularly in the last couple of years. And often it is a lot because of the fact that many people spend most of their time in front of a computer, like me, in front of our phones, our smartphones, our tablets, that at the end of the day, they don't really want to continue reading for pleasure on an e-reader. So they are reverting, reverting to printed books, real books, paper books, so that they can feel it, they can read it, and they rest their eyes from looking at the screen. So screen fatigue, getting a break from the screen. Bengjin, I am from, yes, you are old school, but you're from the old school, but you are old school. So you need the touch, the feel of paper in your hands. I know what you mean, and I remember when the Kindle first came out and I was very against the whole idea. I said, no, I love my paper and I'm going to feel my paper and I want my paper. Slow reading path, I love it. Yeah, that's so cool. And I thought to myself, this is not going to last, it's never going to do. But I have to say, I do a lot of reading on I love my Kindle, I love my e-reader. Why? Because I do a lot of reading at night. And I get, and so I put in the light at the back, and it doesn't actually affect my eyes because often I go to bed and then my husband wants the light turned off, so it's easier for me. Plus, I like to read in Italian, And so it's difficult to find books, you know, paper books in Italian here in the UK. And of course I can access the digital version online. So much easier for me to get access to that. So if you're reading in English, you're reading also in a foreign language. So often if you don't have access to those books, an e-reader is easier because you get the digital version. Similarly to when I sell my ebooks, of course ebooks are quicker, certainly for self-publishers, to publish than the paper version. But I totally get it. Sometimes we need a break from the... I do like my resource books to be paper. I just like that idea. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next one. You like the smell of printed books. Yes, I think, Vasiliki, you're right. A lot of people love that. I mean, I still love going into a bookshop and browsing, going to a library and browsing through books. But having said that, when I go on holiday, isn't the e-reader so much easier? Because you're just carrying one and you can have like 20 books on it. Whereas in the past, I used to have a mini suitcase to walk around with. So, you know, they have their conveniences. Beijing, no doubt, it's very convenient to move around. Exactly, just as I was saying. Great minds think alike, Beijing. Exactly. So, yeah, so they're convenient. But yeah, screen fatigue, if you need a break from the screen, switch off and read a book, the printed word, as we would call it. Right, next one, ladies and gentlemen, returnship. I looked at this and I thought, wow, what? Returnship. Here it is, returnship. Imagine, what do you think it could possibly mean? What could it possibly mean? Returnship. Feels like a spaceship, doesn't it? But no, here's what it means. According to the dictionary, a period of time during which someone who works for a company or organization, in order to get experience of returning to employment after taking time off. Okay, it's like a super complicated definition. In fact, I had to read it about 3 times to understand it. So here we go. A period of time during which someone works for a company or organization in order to get experience of returning to employment after taking time off. Don't you just love dictionaries? Sometimes they give you this definition and you're actually more confused than the word itself. So let's look at an example here. Imagine you are someone who took time off to have children, or maybe you took a long sabbatical, or maybe unfortunately you were ill. So you took a long time off work, right? And Keiko, no, it's not quite the opposite of internship, but it comes from the word internship. So the ship is internship. You're right. So let's take Keiko's idea. She's saying internship. What is an internship? An internship is often people who coming out of university, coming out from further education, and they're going to take a period of internship before they start a proper job, or, you know, maybe that's the first experience of work. So they join a company as an intern and they do an internship. So it's a period of time when they're training on the job. So returnship, so you're playing with the word internship and you add this return. So return is someone who's returning to their job. Say they've had a period of time. Maybe they took career break to have children. Maybe you took a career break for whatever reason. You took some time out work, or maybe you were ill for whatever reason. So what you do is before, or maybe you had to take time out to look after an elderly relative. So what they do is they give you a paid position. So you come back, you do a returnship. So you go back, they pay you, but you have a period when you are getting back to the job, getting back the experience, you know, learning the job again. So you're not going to be paid as much as the job before. So maybe if you took a long time off, then you need to have the training again. So they can offer you a returnship. So here's the thing, the example. Her placement, this person, wasn't a graduate traineeship, but a returnship, a paid position aimed at bringing women, often it's women, who were once senior in the workplace, but they took a significant break to raise children or care for elderly relatives, and they want to come back into employment. Yeah, so imagine you were in a senior position, you choose to take a career break, and so this is often women, and then you want to come back into the workforce. So you come back, but you start with a returnship. So you don't go back straight into your senior position because maybe there have been many changes in your sector, so it gives you that time to go back into the work. Returnship. How does that sound? What do you think? Does it sound good? Does it sound something that would make, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it, Beijing? I thought, when I looked at it, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. That would be good because it's not an internship. They're not. They were senior people. They had the experience, but what they just need is some training to bring them up to date with any changes in the sector. Think about also people like scientists, people who are researchers. You take a break from that. The world of science, the world of technology moves on. And unless you were always up to speed or up to date with that, you need to have that time to catch up. So that gives you that period. So you're paid, but you do this returnship. I thought it was a great word, and I thought, I think this could stay. How about you, ladies and gentlemen? We've got 4 minutes. No, maternity leave you take and you're away from the office. Yeah, but if you take maternity leave, no, maternity leave would be too short a period. Unless your maternity leave doesn't last that long. It is where you take a long career break. Say, for example, you decided to take 10 years away from work. And that's a long period. And then you're going back into returnship. Vasiliki, thank you so much for joining the class. I will see you after Easter. Have a wonderful Easter. So, Maria, you're saying in Italy we don't have it in common. No, I think it's a very new thing. I don't know whether it's even going to happen. But we shall see. But it's something interesting. Good to imagine. Thank you, Vasiliki. That's very kind. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I've just realized I'm running out of time. So let's do one more expression. All of you know Ikea, right? Here is a new expression, the Ikea Effect. Anyone know what the Ikea Effect is? We all have an Ikea in our countries, right? You probably have furniture in your home that is made by Ikea. Now, what happens when so what's the Ikea effect? Oh dear, I put too many quotation marks. The Ikea effect. All right. The Ikea effect is the tendency to like something more if you have built or created it yourself. And I thought, I love this because I could use this. This is so relevant to language learners, so relevant to my EWATers, right? The more you create something, the more you do it yourself, the more you like it, the more satisfaction you have, right? It's like when someone goes, oh, I don't know how to build this thing. I don't know. Can you help me? And you think, well, do it, try it, because once you learn it, you'll appreciate it. Benjin, I love your sense of humor. Meatballs there are delicious. Yeah, the Swedish meatballs. Yeah. I know, my husband loves them too. Okay, the Ikea effect. There's this phenomenon in psychology known as the Ikea effect. It's putting together Ikea furniture makes people like it more. And it holds true that we can use the Swedish furniture to apply to our lives, because when we devote ourselves to difficult but worthwhile tasks, our lives feel more significant. So if something is hard, we do it, but we still do it. We work hard at it, and then we achieve it. We get something. we feel so good about ourselves, right? So hands up, whoever's tried to put together an IKEA piece of furniture. It's an absolute killer because you can't, sorry, I'm just going to have to put my phone on charge. I just realized I didn't have it on charge. You know, and you try and do it and it'll take you hours and hours. You're probably swearing, sweating, but when you finished, the sense of achievement is fabulous. It's wonderful. You think, yes. And it's exactly the same for everything in life, right? We put in the hard work, we do it, we try it, and we manage to get there. It's wonderful. I'm going to be putting in the IKEA Effect into all my programs from now on, because the IKEA Effect, you want to achieve that IKEA Effect. Putting in that hard work, because it's only at the end when you manage to get that, you experience the IKEA Effect of thinking, wow, I did it. It's great. Wonderful. So I am going to leave you on that note. I hope by experiencing this class, you got the IKEA Effect. Actually, no. Well, no, because if you worked hard on this class, then yes, you did achieve the IKEA Effect. So think about those words that I shared. I am going to be writing a post about it. In fact, I'm writing it as we speak, and I will be posting that on Friday. If you're part of the EWAT community on my subscribers list, on my email list, then you'll be receiving it. If you're not, why don't you join the EWAT community? And don't forget, I will be letting you know after Easter about the EWAT group, the EWAT Club, which is the new Facebook group I'll be launching for my tight-knit, close community of, serious business professionals. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you so very much, all of you, each and every one of you, for joining me. Keiko, Bengjin, Vasiliki, Maria, Path, everyone is there. And if I haven't mentioned your names, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for your contribution. Loved it. I hope you enjoyed the words that I shared with you. But, have a look at the Cambridge Blog Dictionary about words. Explore new words and tell me whether you think, what do you think about them? Do you think they would be part of the English language? Do you think they sound good? But I want to say thank you so much. Have a wonderful Easter. I won't be here next week on the 28th of March. I'm afraid I can't be, so I thought it's best if I'm not. So I will be back in beginning of April, straight after Easter. And, I hope you have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. And I will be back at the beginning of April. And April's new theme will be all about business writing. So we're going to be looking at about how to work on your email writing, how to look at different ways of writing. And I've also got a guest writer who will be sharing with me. So I'm so glad you liked it. Gabi, sorry, I'm so sorry I didn't mention you. Gabi, Keiko, thank you ever so much for joining. See you all. Have a very good Easter. See you in 2 weeks' time. Ciao for now. This is me, Shanti Kumaraswamy Street, your business English coach here at English with a Twist, saying happy Easter, folks. Take care.